Iran News Now. Iran holds presidential elections. 6 presidential hopefuls debated the economic effects of U.S. unilateral sanctions. Pre-poll surveys showed Masoud Pezeshkian, the single reformist candidate, leading Iran's presidential election on Wednesday, June 26. The biggest issue is how U.S. sanctions affect the economy. A week before the June 28 vote, government agencies found conservative Saeed Jalali ahead with almost 3% of the vote over his nearest rival, conservative Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf. On June 28, 22.5% of respondents said they would vote for Pezeshkian, followed by 19.2% for Jalali. 22.5% of respondents supported Iran's former senior nuclear negotiator Jalali, while 19.5% supported Iranian Parliament Speaker Kalibaf. Pezeshkian received 19.4% of overall voter support. Kalibaf was initially the darling of conservatives and led the polls. Amir Hossein Ghazizadeh Hashemi, Alireza Zakhani, and Mostafa Pourmohammadi garnered little voter support in the surveys, indicating that over 28% of respondents had not yet decided who to vote for on June 28. Other polls show Pezeshkian ahead with over 24% of respondents, with Jalali and Kalibaf close behind. Friday's tiebreaker will be a first-week July runoff. Over 51% of poll respondents indicate they will vote, indicating higher engagement. Iran fears about declining voting turnout. The latest presidential election in 2021 had 48% voter turnout. Early this year's legislative elections lowered it to 40%. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei urged more voters. Khamenei said voting turnout boosts Iranian legitimacy. Economic conditions dominate presidential debates. All presidential candidates participated in 5 televised debates. The debates focused on the country's economy, cultural renaissance, foreign policy, and government efficiency. The debates focused on unilateral American sanctions, corruption, rural empowerment, and women's rights. During the debate, most contenders stressed that they would prioritize rural economic regeneration and petroleum exports to solve the country's economic issues. Some candidates stressed the need to expand Iranian welfare policy to mitigate economic difficulties, including unemployment and inflation. Despite having one of the world's greatest oil and gas reserves, the Iranian economy has suffered in recent years due to U.S. unilateral sanctions after its 2018 exit from the JCPOA. President Ebrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash last month, tried to improve relations with China, Russia, and Third World nations. This policy aimed to weaken unilateral sanctions. After several years, Iran resumed oil exports, joined various global organizations, and re-established relations with its neighbors. Most contenders pledged to implement Raisi's proposals and recruit more allies to undercut unlawful sanctions during the debates. Iran wants the JCPOA back. The just-finished UN Security Council meeting assessed the execution of its 2015 Resolution 2231, which eased all international sanctions against Iran after the multi-party JCPOA. It restated its demands. The U.S. has refused to ease sanctions despite many rounds of dialogue to resuscitate the pact. The U.S. Treasury Department reimposed sanctions on 50 Iranian businesses last week, reportedly for international financial operations.